Hey guys, how you doing? Hey Boise, how are you? Or Dan, how's it going? Wasn't expecting to see anybody here right when I got here, but thank you for being here. How was your weekend? You getting ready for your week? Have you made a full decision on that car yet, Dan? That's what I want to know. I think that's what Bailey wants to know too. Right, puppy? Johnny Five, how are you, sir? How you been? Money first, car second. I fully understand that. But are you getting closer to part one, though? I mean, are you at least getting to a stability part to where you might be able to make the decision on part two? Because I would really like to see you get that. That would do wonders for your channel. Well, thank you for hanging out with us this evening, then, Johnny. It's greatly appreciated. Well, that's good, Boise. I really hope that comes through for you. I'm doing okay overall. I haven't really talked to you that much recently because I haven't really been on YouTube that much. One of the reasons is my mom passed away last month, and I was caring for her, so that's why you haven't seen me around on all the other channels, is because I haven't been around, period. And actually, for a while there, I wasn't even around for my own channel. So it's all right, Johnny. It is what it is. She was sick, and she was sick for a long time. So it wasn't something that was unexpected. Let's put it that way. Did that help? No, that didn't help either. Trying to get the glare off the lights for you guys. Yeah, I understand, Dan, but you got to get back to a sense of normalcy, because if you get stuck in, I'm not even going to say a rut. If you get stuck in a mental place that you can't move forward from, that's very self-destructive. Trust me. I know that very well, and that's why I'm trying to get back. I've shot 5 videos. I went back and watched 5 videos. Didn't like them at all. Um, just the way I've been feeling lately and everything hasn't really been. It's. I mean, trust me, my videos weren't overly like fun or anything before, but they really don't look fun now. So I'm I'm going back and I'm reshooting some videos. A couple of them I can't actually reshoot, but it is what it is. So, what's everybody's plans for the weekend? I mean, I know it's Sunday, but do any of you guys have a 3-day weekend? Courtney does. I don't. I go back to work tomorrow. I guess my job thinks our president doesn't mean anything, but that's fine. I have 3 dogs laying around me snoring. Yeah, Dan, I'm definitely trying to get back to normal, and I am taking my time, but I'm realizing now that I'm extremely tired. I'm I'm always dragging. I just don't feel normal, so I definitely want to get back to. Yeah, Ronnie, you don't even get weekends anymore, do you? I'm trying to get back to something, kind of normal, to where I feel right. I'm still not feeling 100% yet. So, but I mean, it takes time. Mentally, it's going to take a long time. Yeah, they always run together, Ren. They definitely do. Tundra Whisperer, how are you doing, sir? And we got Renaissance Man. We have Boise City Mopar. We have Johnny Five. I seriously can't move. I have dogs everywhere. It's like I got a zoo over here. Oh, well, that's great to hear, TW. I'm glad you're doing well. So by any chance, have you got to milling some of that lumber that you got from, was it your brother or brother-in-law? Renaissance Man says, let's warm up that bandsaw. You know what? I would love to warm up my bandsaw. The only problem is I don't have my electric ran yet. My electrician was supposed to be here on Friday. And no fault of his own. He told me he would schedule me in any day next week. He would work next weekend. He said, it's all about, I canceled on you. When do you want me there? I said, well, I want you there on Friday. And he was like, no, I can't do it. So I'm taking off work next Friday to have all my electric done. He actually lost a family member too. That's why he wasn't able to do the work. So Johnny Five says, man, we all dripping in to show you some love too. Thank you. Dropping in. Wow. Yeah, you see what I mean? I can't catch the mistakes when I'm reading. I literally just read whatever you guys put up there. Dropping in, not dripping. Yeah, very true, John. I'm actually off till Wednesday. Well, there you go. Look at you getting some time off, Dan. Although I know in your situation wanting a car, you don't want that time off. And Courtney's here. Well, not here. She's somewhere else. She's probably in AC Moore or Hobby Lobby. She went out with one of her friends today, so she left me all by myself to do my own live stream. What am I going to do? Renaissance Man says, Renaissance Tools, cordless extension cord. We would be a lifesaver for you right now. Yeah, but is that 220? Tundra Whisperer says, yes, the white oak, he gave me 154 board feet of white oak, which, yeah, exactly. Now, is that 4-quarter or 8-quarter? Because I'm looking at getting some, I really want to get some walnut. I'm looking at like maybe some 7-quarter walnut to make a nice table. But that's 7-quarter walnut money also. Renaissance Man says, hello, Courtney. Dan says, I understand that, Brian. Trying to get back to a sense of normalcy after a loved one has passed is not easy. A little bit, little by little, you'll get better. Yeah, I'm really trying, but I don't really know how good I was to start with dealing with that whole situation. So I need to get back to better than what I was before. Rennie says 220, no problem. You just need to buy 2. All right, that's what I'll do. Put my order in. Can that be COD? Dan says, hey guys, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And also remember to be on live chat. Yes, I am. I am on live chat. Tundra Whisperer says it's actually oversized rough sawn. It's measuring 2 3/8. Wow. You actually got some 7.5-quarter-ish board? Well, no, that would be almost 9-quarter. Wow. That's great. Courtney's getting back to shopping, and Tundra Whisperer says hello. So, TW, what are you going to be doing with that? And are you looking at getting a bigger planer? I haven't even used mine yet, and I'm loving just looking at it. I actually took the hood off just to look at the cutter head. I have no idea. I just wanted to look at it. Which, by the way, it's amazing and scary all at the same time. Wow. That's ridiculous. I mean, I would love to get my hands on some wood like that. I'm actually going to talk to some of the tree guys out here because I want to get into making like end tables. So something that's going to be like maybe 12 to 14 by like 18 to 20, somewhere in that general range. Maybe something about like this big, to make as like end tables and stuff. And I'm hoping that maybe I can get the logs. Then I can just run them through and then I can like almost, just stack them, let them dry. And then once they dry, I can just run them through the planer and just live edge all day long. Dan says, hey to Courtney. I think she went back to shopping now. When I do my maintenance on my tools and changing out tooling, I find myself marveling at them too. LOL. Yes. Mr. Baker, how you doing? Now, TW, you'll have an answer for me, but how do you get the oil off of the cutter head of a Scheelix cutter? One that's installed, not one that you get out of a pack. Do you just like go and get some like crap wood and just run it through it just to clean it off? Because I don't want to get any oil in any wood that I'm cutting, for finishing reasons, of course. So, Johnny knows a guy in North Alabama that has industrial wood mill. He is selling everything. Hot damn. Johnny, get in touch with me. I want to see if he has anything cheap because, if he gives me the right price, I might get a trailer dropped. I don't care. If it's going to be good, I'll pick up a lot of board feet if it's good looking wood. And quite frankly, I think a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be doing is going to be like rustic type stuff. Because I just made that tabletop. For those of you that see my Instagram post, I just made that desk tabletop going over top of 2 IKEA units. Oh my God. Just looking at all the little knots, and I just loved it. So I think a lot of my woodworking is going to be going towards, either it'll end up probably being more high end, but like a lot of like figured and, like really naughty and things that are going to have their own character to them, and I'm not talking the reclaimed barnwood stuff. I'm talking like nice pieces of like oak or cherry, like spalted woods, which I know a lot of people don't like spalted wood because they're just diseased, but damn, they're beautiful. Spalted maple is amazing. Like I want to look into like some myrtle lumber. I want to start using like canary wood and stuff like that. They are all amazing woods, even if they're just in veneers or accents, or just like for a color contrast. Like you get a piece of cherry and then you put either canary wood or like purple heart or walnut in it where you would have countersunk and put screws in or something like that, or honestly just drilled it out just to put them in there for character. That's a lot of the kind of stuff that I think I want to get into. I want to get into stuff that's going to be, I don't want to use it kind of stuff. Renaissance says you should revolutionize the woodworking market. End tables that already exist. How about middle tables? You know what? They're called coffee tables. So, but I also want to do that because you can make a really nice, 20-inch wide by like 30-inch coffee table. And my planer will handle it, and it'll be beautiful. Like little river tables and stuff like that. All accent pieces is what I think I'm going to end up doing. I just love Um, Johnny Five says, including a bunch of wood. I think he has white oak. I like white oak. I I really love maple too. If you can get me a nice curly maple, oh, that is amazing. And the luster you'll get out of that, putting something like me and TW were talking about before, Danish oil or tung oil on it. Then you shine it up after that, a nice hand rub finish. It'll be amazing. Not to mention, it'll look like 6 different boards every time you look at it. Tundra Whisperer says there was oil on the cutters. That's a good question. I wonder if dousing them with WD-40 and blowing them out, then running crap wood though. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I was thinking. Because that cutter head is ridiculous. I didn't realize that cutter head is like a 4-inch diameter cutter head. When you take the lid off of it, I mean, when you see the little one that's on the joiner, the little 6-inch head, then when you see that 20-inch head, it kind of makes you wonder if you even want to use that machine or not. And them inserts are not small. Man, they're ridiculous. Boise City says, well, it was kind of close to almost buying the car, but the seats aren't fitting properly, so I might have to do a seat swap. Well, that sucks. Tundra Whisperer says, I'll send you a pic. I think there's still bark on some of it. LOL. Oh my God. You were just literally handed $1,000 worth of wood. And some of it still has bark and you can get live edge out. That's amazing. That's great. Good for you. Boise City says, the reason why besides the money is pulling the trigger on the Charger I want is because ones I can afford have a crap ton of miles, and the ones that are, and they're slightly out of your price range, have lesser miles, and I have the interior I want, but 2 seats hurt my lower back, so I might have to go with a different seat or put a pillow behind my back and hope that works. Well, there you go. Either that or just get a Lincoln. Don't they have like massaging seats now? Ridiculous. Why would you want to be that relaxed and comfortable driving? That just sounds unsafe to me. Tundra Whisperer says, one thing I'd like to build with the white oak is an entry table. Always wanted a table to toss the keys and mail on when I walk in. You know what? I'm going to be making one of them for right over there. Yeah, I can't never get this right. Jeez. Come on, focus. Right here. Let's try it again. Right there. We're going to move the grandfather's clock, and right next to the front door in between that window, I'm going to be making one for there. So I have to see what happens. All right, Johnny 5, thank you. Yeah, because I'd like to see what kind of wood he has, because I'd be interested in buying it, especially if it's dried already. I'll be right back, guys, because my mom's dog doesn't like my cat, and my cat is now climbing across the table. Belle. Yeah, Belle wanted to be in the live stream. He was climbing across the table. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry. Like I told you, it's like Animal Kingdom around here. All right, come on, Sasha. No, it's okay. Sasha, it's okay. Come on, get in there. Good girl. There you go. Now you can't see him. You got your blanket on. Good girl. All right, guys, I am so sorry about that, but life goes on, right? Oh, by the way, speaking of vehicles, have you found out the issue with your Tundra yet? Actually, no. I am dropping it off either later, actually, probably tomorrow morning now, because Courtney's still out shopping and I'm doing my live stream. I'll be dropping it off tomorrow morning, but I have a bad feeling it is the front wheel bearing and the rear axle. And I think I know how it happened, but there's nothing I could do. You know, New Jersey. Let's just leave it at that. Tundra Whisperer says, yeah, that 20-inch helical head is a beast. It is. And honestly, when I took the lid off and I looked in there, I was like, should I just put this back on? I already cut myself with a 6-inch one, and it wasn't even on. It wasn't even plugged in. Tundra Whisperer says, Dan, the Tundra has nice seats. Just saying. Oh, yeah. And honestly, I really like the seat. I think the best seats I have, other than my 1794, which, by the way, you cannot beat them seats. And I know everyone's going to hate me for saying this, but the only seat that I've had, not that I've had, but that I have sat in that even compares to that was a Ford King Ranch. All them Western themed trucks have amazing leather in them. Oh my God, the leather is amazing. But I will say the most comfortable seat that wasn't leather that I ever had was in my 07. The lumbar support and the leg support underneath your thighs, it was amazing. I loved it. Maybe I'm just partial to my 07, but I love them seats. And they were cloth, and they were comfortable too. And they had support. Boise City says, Tundra Whisperer, well, I would love to buy a pickup truck. The problem is I saw how much it would cost for insurance, and then paying about $280 a month just for the insurance. No way. Do you really think your insurance is going to be lower in a Charger? Just throwing that out there. Because you got to rule out gas at this point. Because your foot's going to get away from you, and either your truck or the Charger is going to suck in gas. I don't care if you're getting the V6. Trust me. You're going to use it. However, the Dodge Charger, with the V6, will cost about $180 to $190. Big difference. I don't understand that at all. Johnny 5 says, I need your email. Johnny, are you on Instagram? Tundra Whisperer, ouch. Why so much? That's what I'm saying. I have 3 cars. My truck, a sports car, and my old Corolla. 2 of the cars are literally brand new. Courtney's has like 29, I don't even think 20,000 miles, or maybe somewhere around 20,000. And mine has 41. So, and I think we paid like $3 a year. And we have full coverage on all 3 of them. I think we're at like $3,100 a year. So we're at $300 a month, but they want to charge you for 1 car. We have all 3 of ours for that price. So let's see. Boise says, Tundra Whisperer, it's because I had 3 wrecks in 1 year. Well, yeah, that'll do it. I don't really think I have to go on any further than that. He also says, Tundra Whisperer, it wasn't a good year for me. Yeah. Now, were any of them your fault? Because, since you guys have known me, there's been what, 2 accidents on my channel? So, Boise says, Tundra Whisperer, plus the cost to maintain a Tundra and the fuel would bankrupt me. Actually, the maintenance is not really that bad at all. Hey, Brandon, how are you? Tundras aren't really that horrible in maintenance. They're really not. They're not any different than any other car. You have your serpentine belts. You have your oil changes like usual. All cars use synthetic oil now. I mean, the only difference is, what, 3 extra quarts of oil? I mean, when you get down to it, it's not that bad. And as long as you're not beating the piss out of it, it's going to be fine for you for years. My 07 I had no issues with at all. This truck I wouldn't have had an issue with unless it wasn't for Jersey roads. So, and it still even drives very well, even though I know there's something wrong with it. I would love it if my camera would stay focused. Maybe I need to get closer to you guys. Get up close and personal. What do you think? No? All right. It just won't come back. I don't know why. Oh, there we are. Stop. Tundra Whisperer, I'm literally having to work 2 jobs just to afford a V6 charger. Dan, the only thing I can say about that is maybe find one good job. I mean, I don't know what your bill status is, but is it really worth killing yourself to have a nice car? I mean, honestly, is it worth that much to you? You know, you have to weigh them. It doesn't come down to the monetary cost. Let's think of your mental cost and your physical cost and the fact that you're never going to be able to drive it because you're at work all the time. Boise City says, hey, Brandon, how's life? Tundra Whisperer says, oh, wow. Yeah, if your driving record is poor, you'll pay the highest rates then. I'm squeaky clean and no wrecks. $816 a year. But you have just liability, right? I have like full coverage. And like I said, 2 of the cars are basically brand new. Brendan says, hey, Boise, how are you doing? And TW, how are you doing? Tundra Whisperer says, plus the Tundra will outlast any Charger. You're right. And when you drive by a Charger that was outlasted by your Tundra, you can tow them somewhere. Tundra Whisperer says, hello, Brandon. Johnny5 says, yes, I just followed you. Thank you, sir. You can send me a DM on there anytime. I try and get back to people immediately because I can at my job. So, Tundra Whisperer, remember too, Dan, I combine everything under one insurance company and get huge discounts. See, and that's the thing. People say that there's BS. It's like, give us more money and we'll give you back a little bit. But we pay our homeowners, our flood insurance, our car insurance. All of our insurances are through one company. So, which I might add is a awesome company. We have New Jersey manufacturers. And boy, I'll tell you, I have no problems. When I got in the accident, I called them. They're like, okay. I dropped my truck off and they basically did everything I needed. Brandon says, hey, Johnny5. Brandon says, I'm doing pretty good. Tundra Whisperer says, Dan, a good used Tundra would be really good to look for too. Now, Dan, what's your price range? Because if you're looking at that Charger, I'm guessing you have about 22 to 25. And if you have about 22 to 25, for about $20K, you can get like a 07 to 09 Tundra with about 75 to 80,000 miles. Now, I know you're probably saying 75 or 80,000 miles, but trust me, they will run forever. My 07 had 80 on it, ran great. My 2011 had 80,000 on it, ran great. It was all the other stuff, like the brakes and stuff like that, because somebody beat the piss out of it. If you get a well-used and well-maintained car, if you get a Carfax report, you'll get a vehicle history of maintenance. If it has a good maintenance history, chances are it's going to be a good truck and it's going to last you forever. And trust me, they will pull whatever you want them to. They're amazing trucks. But if you don't have 20K, now mind you, 20K, it's going to be a little hard to find for under 100,000 miles, but they're out there because I found 2 of them. So, Johnny says, hey, Brandon. Boise says, well, Tundra Whisperer, I would like to do that, But most insurance companies right now won't touch me until around 2020, so just got to wait. I wouldn't even be looking to try and get a car. You're just killing yourself mentally. You're like, oh, I can afford it, but I can't get it. I can't get new insurance. I can't do this. I can't. So just be careful what you're doing. Remember in the beginning when we were talking about mental status being a very big part of life and making sure that your status is good? Just remember, a car isn't worth that. Because you guys know, I've lost a lot of cars, not by any means of my own, and you just get another one. But trust me, it's nice to have a nice one. I haven't always had nice cars. For 10 years, I rode a bike, and I'm not talking about one with a throttle. So, trust me, I know. Tundra Whisper, well, the problem is trying to find a good used Tundra in Idaho is damn near impossible. People around here beat the snot out of those things. Well, what you need to do is go on the CarMax, because there's... Let me get back to where I was. Let me get back to where I was again. Let's see. As I was saying, go to CarMax, because even for you, getting one shipped from like Fort Lauderdale, Florida, is probably only going to be like $1,200 through CarMax. And trust me, CarMax, their cars are all nice cars in decent shape. Most of the time, 1 or 2 owners. So if you go there, you can look the whole country, and then they'll ship one in. I almost ordered one and got it shipped in from Texas. And the only reason that I almost got it from Texas is because it was a Texas edition, not a 1794. It was a Texas edition, which is basically the same thing as a 1794. It just has a big Texas symbol in it. Tundra Whisper says, live below your means, less stress. Exactly. And that's the thing. If you have the money, it's fine. I mean, it's like a lot of people ask me, and Rennie's even asked me a few times, through personal conversations on Instagram, what do you need all that machinery for? You could have got, because we were talking about me getting a track saw today. And he's like, with that table saw, you could have an awesome setup. You don't need a track saw. And, it all comes down to what's going to make my life easier. Bringing a 4x8 foot sheet of plywood in through my basement. And then I need 8 foot out this end of my table saw and 8 foot out that end. And I only have 18 feet. I have 1 foot on either side. I need to be standing in my doorway pushing it through. Or I could do my original rips outside with the track saw, he kind of understood my point. And it all comes down to not really what do you want, what do you need? Because you can get a older, nicer car that has slightly higher miles on it that was well maintained, and it can be a phenomenal long life car for you. Or until 2020 when you get on your feet and you can trade up. And that's what you got to look at. Don't always look at now, look at the future. If I can get a car that I'm not paying out the nose for, I'll be able to save to get that car I want in 2 or 3 years when my insurance goes down. And that's kind of the way you got to look at it. You got to kind of give yourself your own sales pitch and your own, that's what works for me. Tundra Whisperer has full coverage also. Well, there you go. But then again, on TW, I don't think Dan is in your age category either. So I think his age might have a little bit to do with it also, along with his record. Boise says, Tundra Whisperer, amen to that, brother. But once I get a new job, mean more money. And once I get my CNA license, even more money. So say your car's running now. You just put your $192 in it, or your $92 or whatever it was. You got your car up and running. Ride it till the wheels fall off. Seriously. when the wheels fall off, you got money in the bank, you go buy a car. That way you can save some money and you can, be a little bit easier on yourself. Oh, wow, Edge, that sucks. We'll just keep us in the loop. Let us know what you're going on that truck of yours. Geez. And see, and that's the thing. I know what it could also be a cracked ball joint or a cracked CV joint. It could be anything. But I kind of know how it happened, or looking back, I could kind of remember when that sound started, and that's about when I hit a pothole. Dan, would you be willing to say what your monthly payment is right now? TW, I think he actually owns his outright. Johnny5 says, if you check out allleaseonly.com, you can get 18 Tundra for the high 20s. Yeah. And if you take that out for 7 years, he could probably be with insurance, with like $250,000 liability and everything. He could probably be at like $5 a month, including his insurance. So he could probably be somewhere around the high 240s, low 260s. Tundra Whisperer, right now I'm paying around $230 a month, and the car is looking at will probably cost me around $300, maybe $400 a month. Ouch. Brendan says, how's the shop coming, Edge? It's coming along good. Today I was planning on doing like a whole tour and having everything done. My table saw was supposed to be in. My dust collection was supposed to be in. My electric was supposed to be in. I don't have a damn bit of it. But I took my bandsaw out of a box. I did a project using my joiner because it's the only 110-volt machine I got, which might not stay that way because I might be converting it to 220. So, but it's going great. I was able to actually do a project down there. Mind you, I used my bandsaw box as a table, but the project came out great. I actually have pictures up on Instagram of it. Tundra Whisperer says, Edge, I'm getting closer to dialing in the brand of sliding table saw I want. It's down to Felder, Aldorf, FCM. They all have their own strong points too. Not an easy decision. Well, how about this, TW? Why don't you trade in your PM1000, get a PM2000B, and get the sliding table saw version? When was it? 2 weeks ago. I think it was like February 6th or 7th. Powermatic dropped a PM2000 and a PM3000B, both of them with sliding table saws. Or you can get the attachment if you already have a 2000B or a 3000. So I don't know. You might want to look into staying with Powermatic. That's all I'm saying. Because trust me, I considered buying the slider, but then I'm like, no, my saw's already so damn big as it is, it won't fit in my basement. But I don't know, TW, that's a hard one. I would either go with the Felder or the Altendorf. I really want to lean towards the Felder because if you get the one that is CNC compatible, it'll set your guides digitally, depth of cut, angle, and everything 100%. You can just put a little program in and it'll go zzz, 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 done. So, might want to look at it. But like I said, PM2000 and 3000B both have the capability for the sliding table. Boise says, unfortunately, Edge, the Rex War declared my fault, even though I tried to debate them. 2 of them were technically my fault. The other wreck, I debated with them and they wouldn't listen. Well, if you had 2 things that are your fault, the third time, that's actually called, what is it? A pattern. So yeah, you kind of had a hard problem with that third one. I mean, even if you were just sitting there parked in a parking lot, you would have had issues, I think. That sucks though, Dan. You just gotta work through it. Oh, you have the PM 2000. You saw the attachment. So what do you think? I mean, it's what, like $1,000? You could save, 17,000. Just saying. Here's the thing, guys. I live in a city in an apartment complex. We have many small parking spots. I can fit a Charger no problem. A Tundra, that's a different story. Shit, park in the grass. Just like pull up in the grass. When they plow the snow, park on the snow mound. Done. You make your spots. When you have a Tundra, you park wherever you want. It's that simple. You're a big boy now. When you have a Tundra, people get out of your way. Trust me. You come barreling down the interstate at 90, they get in the shoulder. They get out of your way. They move. Tundra Whisper. Well, after 2020, 2021, I should be able to do the same thing with my insurance. Well, there you go. Then just hold out. Keep the car you got. It'll be paid off. You'll get a good amount for a down payment. You'll be in a better position for, you'll have more money down. You'll be able to bargain to get a lower interest rate. Then you'll get a lower payment, and you'll actually be in a better situation than what you are now. You'll actually probably be paying less. So I just got to wait another 1 or 2 years, and yeah, why not wait? That's all I got to say. Tundra Whisperer says, yeah, the SEM is now offering the CNC rip fence in the Minimax line now. $2,500 less than the others, and the saw is about $4,000 less too. But TW, we know that Felder and Altendorf makes a slightly better machine than SCM. Now, mind you, they are all kind of the same. But when it comes down to the CNC function, if that's what you're looking for, Felder has one that's almost exactly the same as SCM. I think they run off the same software. So just check that out. But, I mean, you're in a hard place. I don't know. TW and Dan are both in hard places with their big purchase decisions right now. That I feel sorry for the both of you, honestly. Dan says, however, an insurance company I'm looking at going with called Roots Insurance, what they do is they see your driving habits and you give you a rate based on that. Okay, now see, we're going to go back to the third accident is like a habit. If they don't look back in your history, you're fine. But if you get that Charger and they have like one of them little snapshot things, which is really them just tracking your ECU, if you get one of them, you're kind of screwed. Your insurance is going up. Because as soon as you use that gas pedal, they're going to say you're a liability. TW says, yeah, but even with that attachment, it's a Western style saw and just looking to change the way I break down sheet goods. You know what? And that's the thing. I don't really do a lot with sheet goods and I'm not anticipating it. But if I was going to, I would just, for me, I would get the attachment. Because trust me, I would love to have a Felder. I would love to have one. But that machine is seriously like the size of my living room. I would have like a table saw shop. I wouldn't have a shop. So, and that's you're in a that's going to be a hard decision, T-Dub. I don't really know. Dan says, actually, we have V6 Chargers with about 15 to 20,000 to 50,000 on them at about 14 to 17,000. Well, I guess that's good. I mean, just you might want to do that then, if you can. But once again, think about how you're going to be mentally when you wake up every day and say, I can't take a day off. My job said that, because of schedule conflicts and everything like that. Just look back at your past, Dan, and make sure that this is going to be a good decision for you so it don't put you in a bad place. That's all I'm saying is just, take a good hard look and and see. Tundra Whisperer says that SCM is gaining traction with their quality. They are. I've heard that. What is the other thing they make? It's not a planer. I want to say it's. Do they have a molding machine? It makes like moldings and stuff. From what I heard, that thing is going to take off. If it's the same company I'm thinking of. The problem is trying to find a Tundra with under 100,000 miles here in Idaho is not easy. It's hard to find one at all. And that's one of the fights that not fights, but arguments I've always had with everybody is they're saying, oh, Ford sells this many trucks and Chevy sells this many trucks and this many. And I just look at them and I say, well, people don't have to get a new Tundra, so they keep them longer, so their sales are down. So, and Rob Motive, or the old Throb Nation, he made a very valid point on why he wouldn't buy an F-150. He thinks that because of all the commercial and fleet trucks that are sold through Ford, that it kind of inflates the price, not the price, but inflates the numbers on how many trucks are sold or leased in that matter. So, when you have, say, I don't know, like around here we have, like, let's say Bombardier goes out and they buy, 100 trucks. Let's say a company like Bombardier around us goes out and buys 100 trucks and they renew their leases every 3 years. Every 3 years, that company is getting 100 trucks sold, but it's not to you and me. I fully agree with Rob's point on this, that it could be an inflated number because, quite frankly, how many Tundras have you seen in a fleet? Not many. And if you have, they're diesel, and we don't really have that much of an option to buy them anyway. And half the states can't even own them. And Dan says, and also, guys, for the stuff I do, I really have no need for a pickup truck. Well, let's think. Do you really have a need for a charger? I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I mean, because you could get along perfectly fine with a smart car. And then all your problems are solved. They're like $6,000. They all have low miles because people get them and get rid of them. The insurance is next to nothing on them. And the gas mileage is like 38. I mean, you can't get better than that. And trust me, I've seen them things cruising at 90 down the interstate. So it just takes you a little longer to get there. Later, guys, have to go. Have a nice night. Well, see you, Brandon. Thank you for stopping by. Tundra Whisperer says, LOL, you're right. They are beastly machines. Yeah, they're... I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to move one at all. I mean, it's going to be a rigging company bringing it in. It's not even going to be like, oh, I ordered it and Acme Tools dropped it off and put it in my driveway. No, you're going to have a rigger and a setup crew that's going to have to come in for that. Not to mention somebody to teach you the software, but I'm sure you can do that on YouTube. But yeah, they're all phenomenal machines. Dan says, actually, right now I am on my parents' policy until about 2020 or 2021, and they have a good policy. Well, as long as you can do that, do it. Tundra Whisperer says, later, Brandon. Eddie Smallhorn, how are you? Eddie says, yo, Edge, night, Brandon. Brendan says, night, Eddie and Tundra Whisperer. Tundra Whisperer says, that's why Ford sells a ton of trucks. People keep replacing the one that broke down. Very true. Because, and let's look at this. When it comes to, like, cars, who sells a lot of cars? It's between, like, Chevy, Ford, like the top three. Not Toyota, because Toyota don't really do leases with fleets and stuff like that. Like Enterprise. Enterprise is probably a good 5% of all the car manufacturers for sales or leases. Toyota don't do that. And I don't think it's that Toyota don't do that. It's they don't do that with Toyota just because of the upfront cost. And it all comes down to you have a good car, you pay a little bit more, you keep it forever. Tundra Whisper and Edge, thanks guys. I appreciate the advice. No problem, sir. Anytime. Tundra Whisper says, LOL, that's true. But they are Fords after all. One thing I need to look into is switching out my phone. Text to speech on this thing is horrible. Dan, you've had like 4 phones in like the past 2 months. Come on, calm down. Get T-Mobile. You can get an iPhone XR and it's like included in the price. But it's probably going to be like a car payment. And I agree, you guys. I've looked at other vehicles. I've considered other vehicles. But for the requirements I need, a Dodge Charger fits all the bills. Well, there you go. Hey, if that's what... All I'm asking is think about it rationally. Do you need it or don't you? Can you afford it or can't you? And if all those answers are yes, then it's the car for you. Just don't start getting tickets for speeding because then it's not the car for you. Because one of the requirements for my job is taking multiple people where they need to go, and some of those people are big people and they have a lot of stuff. So Charger would be more reasonable. You know what? I mean, if that's the case, I mean, you could be classy and you could drive around in a Chrysler 300. Them things are really nice. And they're not that slow either. And I mean, you could get like a luxury one for like 25 with like 40,000 miles on it. I mean, it's like you're carting the people around with a limo. And if you're using it for work, write it off. Write off the mileage. Rob Motive. Hey, Brian. How y'all doing? I was just talking about you, Rob. How you been, sir? Boise City says, well, I did find a 2006 Charger RT Daytona with 70,000 miles for about 100K. 100K. Jesus, I'm losing my mind. For about 11K. That doesn't sound bad. But I will warn you, it is a Dodge product with 70,000 miles. But it was 06, so it is in a little bit better time period. Tundra Whisperer says, hey, Rob. Dan says, and besides, right now, I'm still in the looking and doing research stage as long as my car holds out until I can get a new one. Yeah, and that's the thing. If yours is still running, just let it run. You're making payments on it. You know, you already have a payment. Just keep it, get out of it, and then you can reevaluate. Rob Motive says, hey, TW. Thunder Whisperer says, Dan, how old are you? Sounds like you just need a Ford Focus. See, now Ford Focuses are really nice. I actually like the Ford Focus. Except for it has that little oval badge on it. I mean, get a Focus RS. There you go. Yeah, you can play and you can cart people. Dan says, hey, Rob, how's your El Camino? I mean, Tacoma doing? LOL. Rob Motive says, all good, I hope. Feeling pretty good here. Dan says, well, Tundra Whisperer, I will be 34 years old next month, and good luck getting me in a Ford Focus. I'm 6'4", and those things don't fit me worth a damn. Well, let me go back to the smart car again. The smart car has plenty of room. You put the seat all the way back. You can reach out the back window. You can reach out the side windows. You can wipe your windshield. No matter what happens, you're good. And trust me, I've actually sat in a smart car, and they're pretty damn roomy for being as small as they are. I mean, it's not like a Fiat. Let's put it that way. Rob Motive says, better than your Charger, Dan. Better than your Charger. True. Tundra Whisperer says, Dan, just get a 4-door and remove the front seat and drive from the back seat. Problem solved. See, there you go. Be innovative. Might want to cover up the rug, though, because it might look a little weird with all the wires hanging out from under your seat. Dan says, Rob, what charger? I don't own the charger as of yet. I think you're talking about my G6. And yes, that's running like a pile of crap. Well, let's see. You have your G6, which is running like a pile of crap. And then you have the charger that you don't own. So automotively, you're in a bit of a pickle. So Dan also says, Tundra Whisper, dude, I'm tall, but not that tall. LOL. Huh. And Tundra Whisper, why in Sam hell? Yeah, I know. Your phone probably said, why would he say hell? Sam hell would I buy a Ford Focus? It's a Ford. It's found on road dead, enough said. LOL. That's found on roadside dead. Yes. And it's better than a effed up rebuilt Dodge. But either way, the Focus has actually had a halfway decent track record for being a Ford. And I hate to say it, but it seems like it's just Ford trucks that are having most of the issues and the EcoBoost cars. The other ones aren't really that bad from what I understand. Tundra Whisperer says, Dan, the Conundrum Man. There you go. New name. So, guys, my truck's going in the shop tomorrow. My electric's getting installed on Friday, next Friday. I'm probably driving to Downingtown to pick up my table saw and dust collection. And thank you very much, Tundra Whisperer, for all the help. Thanks to him, I'll be doing my own dust collection install because he's a good egg. He told me where I could get everything I need, sent me a video on how to install it. It's great. So I should be doing my own dust collection, which means I can rip out a little less ceiling then. So that's going to be fun. And that's kind of about all I have going on. I put my bandsaw together, which, by the way, guys, putting together a 14BX, you literally put feet on it and put a blade in it, put the fence roller on, and the fence. That's it. There is no assembling it. So, actually, most of the assembly is getting the blade to run true and leveling the table. That's like 90% of the setup on that thing. Rob Moto said, Dan, you need a good used SUV. Good for you gigantities. See what I did there? Great for you larger passengers, low in insurance costs, and cheap to buy. There you go. Get a 4Runner. I had my 4Runner for 12 years. I loved it. It got hit 5 times. Ran great. Gas mileage went down really bad, though. Dan says, not only that, but I don't feel comfortable driving compact cars, especially after those wrecks happen. I feel more comfortable in a large vehicle. Okay, makes sense. Tundra Whisperer said, what happened, Edge? Your Tundra? Yeah. My Tundra's going in the shop tomorrow. Because Toyota don't know that I hit a pothole, and I think I blew out the front wheel bearing or hub bearing, and I think I broke the rear axle. Because it's grinding, and when I make a left turn, it goes gung, 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 gung. Not really loud, but enough for me to hear it. So when I hear it, it's kind of like a jackhammer. But Courtney's like, oh yeah, I can kind of hear something. And I'm like, oh, that's bad. Courtney can't hear anything that's wrong with the car. So, yeah. But that should be getting fixed tomorrow. And if it's an axle, it's going to be warranted. If it's the hub bearing, it's going to be warranted. Unless it's possibly maybe the CV joint in the front because of whatever, but I don't know. Either way, it's warranted. It'll get fixed. Dan says, bite your tongue, Rob, LOL. Hard I'm not driving a soccer mom SUV. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down. Is Rebel here? Because trust me, I drove a Dodge Journey and I love that thing as a rental. That thing was nice. It was fast. It had room. It, all the connectivity and everything, it was easy. I'd like hit Bluetooth on my phone and it was like, bing, pairing. Hit OK. I'm like, all right, done. So yeah, I like the Dodge Journey. That actually wasn't bad. Dan says, Tundra Whisperer, Brian broke his truck already. LOL. Yeah. Actually, I know what happened, so it's not that bad. Krista Greenbeans, how you doing? She says, hi, guys. How you been, Krista? You enjoying that beach down there with Rob? You two lovebirds going for a stroll on the beach, hand in hand, getting crapped on by birds? Or just going down for a photo op and then going home? Just wondering. And did you take the Jeep? Did you take the Jeep on the beach? Eddie says, wait, a Tundra can't take a pothole? Yeah, this was a little bit more than a pothole. You know how you have potholes? You have, like, Bailey, calm down. You know how you have, like, the asphalt, and then you have the rock and gravel, and then you have whatever else is under it, and then the dirt? There was dirt coming out of the hole because it was, and the pothole was like this big around. Like, seriously. So it was like a parking boot almost if you stopped in it. So I hit it at like 30 miles an hour and yeah, the truck, I mean, it took the hit well, but I mean, nothing broke. It took the hit and kind of like shimmied a little bit, but I mean, it was fine. It still drives. It's just before it gets too bad and breaks something else. I don't want it to end up messing up the pinion gear or anything like that. If it's the rear axle and if it's up front, I don't want it to throw out the alignment any more than what it is. And, you know, the tires get worn because I don't want to have to put tires on it if I don't have to. Yeah, it was a pretty big pothole. Actually, the pothole was so bad, it was there one day, like a small little pothole. It was like, ding, 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 when you drove across it. Within like a day and a half, because of all the snow and it getting plowed, it just ripped everything out of it. And it got like 4 times bigger. And it was seriously like this deep. When I hit it, it hit it hard. Rob says, but Dan, you're not a kid anymore. Time to bone up and do some adulting. You're pushing 40. See, Rob's old enough to be your dad, so he can say that. Dan says, okay, Brian, I'll do that. And then when the police department comes and tows my Tundra, I'll send you the bill for getting it out of the impound lot. LOL. Well, let's see. First off, just because I tell you to do it, you don't have to. So if you do it, that's all on you because I never had the keys. But you can send me the bill all you want. You're still not going to get your truck out of impound. But I mean, that's what I do. Like right across the street from my house is Public Works. And rather than parking on the street, Courtney will take the driveway and I'll pull up in a snow mound and park there. And they don't mind because they can clear the street. So it's kind of a win-win for them. Tundra Whisperer says that must have been one hell of a pothole. It was actually pretty decent. You know, when you hit it and it makes a 7,000-pound truck shimmy, yeah, that's a pretty bad pothole. King of the Crease, how are you, sir? What's up? How you been? Yay, the almighty Tundra can't take a pothole. Yeah, it was more like I don't know. I don't think pothole will do it. I mean, it was like a pothole, like a stock pot type hole. That's about how big it was. It was like a 12-quart stock pot. And you can't tell because it was a rainy day and the hole was filled with water and, you know, operator error probably. Eddie says, I'm not sure how many potholes I have gone over with my little Canyon. Never had an issue, just saying. You know what? I'll agree. I've hit a lot of potholes. But I mean, this thing, when the tire went down in it, it was big enough to kind of, like if the tire is round, it was big enough to like kind of like be up like that high. I actually got out and checked to make sure that I didn't, break the rim because that's how big this pothole was. 20-inch tire goes in and yeah, it was bad. If I was going slow, I'd probably have to put it in four-wheel drive. Dan says, okay, Grandpa Rob, and who you talking about doing some adulting? You act like a kid yourself. What are you talking about? I have my own apartment. I pay my own rent. I pay my own insurance. That is my parents'. I just wanted to help you out with that. I pay my own car payment. I do everything an adult would do. So don't give me none of that grief, Rob. LOL. Well, Dan, didn't you just mention about 20 comments back that you're on your parents' car insurance until 2020 or 2021? I just want to point that out. That's not too adultish, if you ask me. Chris Greenbean says, LOL, no crap. We did take the Jeep, even let Rob drive it. Well, there you go. See, Krista being the bigger man and letting Rob drive a 4x4 again. Look at that. But did you actually go on the beach, like get it in the sand and everything? Did we get any pictures, any video of that? Come on. I want to see. I want to see the Jeep where it really thrives in like the dunes and stuff. Eddie says every road in Louisiana. Yeah, it's bad everywhere. Scott S, how you doing, sir? Snowing up there still? Hi, Brian. What is happening? Not much. Just trying to get back to a sense of normalcy. Edge, unfortunately, dude, I don't think my car is going to last another year. I fix one thing and another thing starts to fall apart. I'm now having issues with the turn signal. So just get a flashlight and hold it, put your arm out. You know these, right? You're good. As long as you don't have inspection yet. Rob Motive says, I'm reverting, Dan. I've already put my time in as an adult. Yeah, from what I understand, he owns a house. He owns 3 cars. He has 2 lifts. He's buying a 4th car. I think he's collecting Social Security too. I'm not sure. So, and he's living the American dream. Eddie says, just got to give you a hard time. It's all right, Eddie. Don't worry about it. I understand. Tundra Whisperer says the Benjamin button, Rob. Dan says, my speak to touch. Oh, geez. Speak to text is horrible. Rap, you're full of crap. But then again, we already know that. LOL. And what do you talk about? You put your own time in your late 40s. Now my dad, that's a different story. He's 67. He put his time in. Hey, I'm not going to say anything about that, Rob. I will let you answer that. Krista says potholes are the worst. There are some bad ones here too. Yeah, and that's why I want to get my 33s put back on my truck. But unfortunately, I don't need tires, so I don't want to spend $1,500 to get tires. So until my tires wear out, I can't get new tires. So potholes are going to have to deal with the ones I got. Rob says, you've got a TW. Looking forward to diapers. There you go. Keep it moving, regardless of what direction it is. Hey, Rob. This next little thing is going to be for Rob. Good old Rob. I got to get back to where I was because it shut down. Actually, Brian, since those wrecks, I have really slowed my butt down and been much more careful with my driving. Well, that's good. See, now you're beginning to adult. Good progress. All right, Rob. Now, I know Rob is going to love this. When I mentioned it on one of my other live streams, he went crazy over it. So I want to show you guys something, and I know Rob is going to be ecstatic about it. He's going to want to get him for his Tacoma. So you ready? What is this, Rob? See that? Yeah. Look at that infinite screen right there. What do you think about those, guys? Does anybody know what that is? Sounds like a sinkhole, not a pothole. LOL. Yeah, it could have been. I mean, because that thing kept getting bigger and then it got fixed. And that road was closed down for a day, so it very well could have been a sinkhole. I could have lost my whole truck, not just, an axle. Krista wants a Benjamin Button. Dan says, wait, you mean to tell me Rob is in diapers already? LOL. Yep, those diapers look comfy too. All the padding and everything. Oh yeah. You should see my nurse, Dan. Shouldn't that be a little winky face? Tundra Whisperer says, is that Nurse Krista? He might have another one. Dan says, Rob, is your nurse hot? LOL. Hello, Hazel, and thank you very much, Rob. Let's see. What did... yeah, Haza, yeah, you gotta go. Thank you very much, Rob. Greatly appreciated. Just returning the favor, right? Krista Greenbean says, no beach driving yet. Well, I want to see I don't know about anybody else, but I want to see a video of the Jeep on the beach. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just maybe a slow drive-by with the ocean in the background, something like that. Maybe Rob in his mermaid thing laying in the water getting splashed, Dan says, well, Brian, I appreciate the advice, and that's why I'm being very careful in regards to purchasing another vehicle. Yeah, you got to get all them accidents out of your system, calm down, and then, put out some decent money for a nice car. Krista says, LOL, T-Dub. And Dan says, are you kidding me? Rob trades his vehicles in every 3 months. Toyota loves him, LOL. No, because he doesn't give them any money. Dan says, F-150. Oh, you mean the found on road dead 150, LOL. Yes. Brian, I was late. What happened when you hit the pothole? Well, I think I blew out the front axle bearing / hub bearing, and I think I might have cracked my rear axle when I did it too. So, getting a little bit of a groaning in the back. I'm getting a ding, 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 ding when I drive, and my gas mileage went down, which tells me I have something really rubbing. And every once in a while, it doesn't feel like it wants to shift exactly properly when I first start out. So I think it might be starting to do damage to the pinion gear. Damn. Rob Motive says, hey, Scott. Oh, my God. Scott says, hey, Rob. What's up, buddy? Rob Motive says, what are you going to do with that? Don't know. Tundra Whisperer says, with diapers, you just piss yourself and keep sleeping. That's a win-win. Yeah, just as long as it doesn't leak. Jesus. Just as long as it doesn't leak. But then the other part is if you're going to the bathroom and you want to get back to sleep and you try and push it out and then you shart, then you got a problem. Then you got poop on your back. Yeah, just not good. Rob Motive says, TW knows that score. Yep, there you go. Krista says, Brian, shh. No one knows about my mermaid outfit. Don't worry. Beach driving is happening soon. Krista, I was talking about Rob's mermaid outfit, not yours. You just told everyone about yours. Scott S says, "Oh my God, that's something else." Jeez. Thunder Whisperer says, "Long road trips. Just reach for the Depends." Exactly. There you go. It's kind of like Allstate. You're in good hands. So, guys, what do you want to see come to my channel next? Hello, this is the person. How are you doing? How's the family doing? So, what do you guys want to see on the channel? I mean, what kind of a project do you want to see? Do you want to see... I don't know. You guys have seen bowls. All right. Well, woodworking. All right. That'll definitely happen. I got to get past the whole installing machine thing. Tundra Whisperer says, "Did you say what you were going to with that?" Hey, that countertop looked fabulous. Yeah, that was actually just a little desktop, Scott. Well, it wasn't really that little. It was 23 by 69, but it was nice. It was. I really felt bad staining it because I love the way that cherry looked. That cherry was beautiful. I mean, as soon as I wet it, it just like glistened. I'm like, oh man. And then he's like, "I want it walnut." I'm like, all right. He's like, "I want it to look walnut, but I don't have walnut money." But when I seen that cherry, just how beautiful that wood was, I'm like, he's just going to love the characteristics of it. Oh, thank you, Scott. TW, what do you think I used as a finish on that? I don't know if I told you yet. What do you think I used? Rob Motive said, "Would love to see more bowls, cutting boards, etc." All right, that sounds good. I have a lot of bottle stoppers that I'm going to be running. I'm going to be casting some resin. I'm probably going to get started turning some pens that I'll be able to use for giveaways on the channel. I have some bowls I got to do. That big maple bowl, that salad bowl, the one from my it's a rough bowl video, the one that I roughed in. I will be able to finish that one very shortly. I think that's down to 6% now. Actually, I think it's probably closer to 5% humidity. So I'll be able to turn that, and I'll be able to have my new salad bowl. So that's definitely coming. I'm going to do some videos on resoling wood and stuff like that, because when I was at the hardwood place that I was at, they actually had some real nice 8-quarter Wenge that I think I want to use. I'll probably resole it, and I want to make a nice little box that has I want to use the Wenge and make a copper inlaid lid on the box, and then have the box have it engraved. At least that's what I'm thinking. Tundra Whisperer says that tea. Scott says, or whatever you call it. Scott S says, "Very nice finish." Tundra Whisperer says, "I'll buy a cherry bowl from the channel." I'm actually looking into that, and I'll have to let you know what that price would be, sir. Krista Greenbean says, "Yes, what are your plans for the mirror tea?" Does anybody know what that was? Let me give you another hint. How about that? Do you guys know? Was it tongue oil? No, actually it wasn't, because I needed to put something on there, TW, that was a little bit more durable. but I did finish it in a way that a lot of people don't really finish wood that much nowadays. Rob Motive says, by the way, my mom mentioned she would like to buy a bowl from you also. Okay, well, I'll have to get in touch with you guys. I actually just ordered a tool to realign my lathe, and once I get the beds done, then I'll be able to work on that. I haven't turned any of my stuff yet because I really thought I turned all my volume down. Sorry, guys. But once I get my lathe up and running, I'll definitely be able to get in touch with both of you to set something up. Scott says, I have no idea what finish you used. Tundra Whisperer says, Edge. Start pumping out bowls. There's a line forming. Yeah, trust me, I will be. Krista wants a bowl too. I love the bowls you make. All right, well, there you go. I can make them. How about a wood box? Well, yeah, I'm going to be working on that, definitely. Rob says, oh, God, no. You spelled UT. Rob Motive says that's basically chrome. But what is it, Rob? Dan says, oh, really? Look up the record on the 2012 through 2018 Ford Focus, and you will see that they have been plagued with engine and transmission issues. Yeah. You see, and I really thought I was doing it right, TW. I'm like, that's why I held them down here, and then I moved them, and I got it wrong. Yeah, but yeah, they are reversed. But pretty soon, I might be fixing that. So, we'll see. Scott says, where's Gear? Is he sick? Actually, yes, Gear is sick. Krista says, Tundra letters for the truck. Krista for the win. Yes. Gear has dinghy fever. Yeah, it's, I did get the chrome inserts for the truck, but unfortunately it hasn't been warm enough here to be able to put them on. I've had them sitting on the table for like 2 weeks. That was that mod that I was going to do like 3 weeks ago, I think it was. When I said, Rob, I have a mod coming and you're going to love it. Yeah. They're still sitting here. Yeah, they're going to be on the embossed part of the tailgate. Because every other lettering on the truck is all chrome, and that just looks... I don't like it. I want them chrome. Scott S. says, that's something, Rob. Gear is having a time this winter. Yeah, I don't really think he ever got rid of it. I think his body just, when it relapsed, it just couldn't fight it off. And it sucks, because he was supposed to go away on business, too. Don't know where it was, but, I mean, away's away, right? I mean, if your job's going to pay for it, why not? But, yeah, that's going to be the chrome lettering on the back of my truck. So, basically, that's about all I have for you guys today. We're about an hour and a half in, and that was actually Courtney texting me saying that she's on her way home. So, but TW, the finish that I used was actually a satin finish wipe-on poly. And because I needed something that was a little bit more resilient. So the wipe-on poly, you won't really get water spots. If you put a hot cup of coffee on there, it won't really mess it up all that bad. If you spill your beer on it or anything like that, it won't really mess it up. The main thing is that you just can't get acetone or solvents on it. But my final finish on it was I actually buffed out paste wax, and it really brought out like the inside shine. It had a satin finish, and it was still like satin or matte, but once I kind of buffed it out with the paste wax, you could see all the grain and all the texturing underneath. It was amazing. It was beautiful. I loved it. Rob Motive says, time for dinner. See you all later. TW says, they have come a long ways in wipe-on finishes. Have you heard of Profin? Great oil product. No, I will look into it. I also want to look into Oldie's wood oil, and I want to get my hands on some of the Rubio, because I like some of the Rubio that you can use to change the grain colors. So I want to look into getting some of that for when I do kind of like an end table that's going to be like a river table. I want to be able to match the grain color with the different colors that they have to match the river look. I think that would be really cool. Krista says it's time for dinner. Tundra Whisper says later, Rob and Krista. Scott says take care, Rob. Tundra Whisper says Profen might rival the Danish oil. Wow. Now you got me wanting to go buy some. I might have to get some of that now too. Very simple to apply. I'm okay with very simple to apply. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I'm going to have to start leaving a notepad here when I do my live streams. Hopefully, once I get my shop set up, I'll be doing my live streams from my shop. That's my whole plan. And I'm going to be getting a new GoPro. I'm looking at getting a GoPro 7. So that'll be a big bonus. So, Tundra Whisper says, me too. I didn't own any HVLP. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you all for stopping by. I will be getting onto a normal schedule again very shortly. I'm trying. I apologize. But right now, with all the machines and all the setup and everything coming in, it's been rough. Not to mention, just personally, the way I come across on my videos hasn't been what I want to put out on my channel. So hope you guys all have a nice night. Hope you have a nice week at work. For those of you that are off on Monday, congratulations. I will be working. But don't forget, guys, get in your shop, make something. Doesn't matter what it is. And remember, don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. If you know anybody that likes this kind of stuff, let them know. I'll be here for a while. So Scott S. says, Brian, you were great at what you do for sure. A perfectionist. Thank you very much. Actually, Scott, one last thing. When I made that tabletop, I didn't like the way it glued up. Rather than going back and putting a little bit of glue and sawdust in them, I literally re-ripped all the seams, rejointed them, and re-glued it up because I didn't like it that much. So, guys, once again, have a nice night. Enjoy your week. And I'll see you next time.